What would you do if the person you trusted destroyed your life? That's exactly how my story began. I stood on the doorstep of a huge mansion with a heavy wooden door, too scared to even touch it. A worn-out bag with my only dress, 2 shirts, and scuffed shoes hung from my shoulder. My heart was pounding, and only one question echoed in my head. Why did I come here? I was destitute. Not just poor, completely destitute. After my husband's death, I had lived at the train station collecting bottles just to survive. Then, one day, luck smiled on me. An acquaintance suggested a job as a caregiver for a wealthy businessman's sick daughter. The pay was low, but they gave me food and a place to stay. For me, that was salvation. When the maid opened the door, I felt as though I had stepped into another world. High ceilings, marble floors, the smell of expensive perfume. Somewhere deep in the house, I heard soft sobs. "Are you here for Mrs. Mary Thompson?" the maid asked sternly. "Yes," I said quickly, lowering my eyes. "Come in, but keep in mind, the master is very strict." My heart skipped a beat. Strict? I was already terrified to meet him. I was led to a room where a frail young woman, about 20 years old, lay on the bed. Her skin was pale, her cheeks hollow. Only her huge blue eyes seemed alive, cold, like ice. "Hello," I said softly. "Hi," she replied, managing a weak smile. Her name was Lisa, the daughter of the wealthy businessman. From the very first day, I realized she wasn't just sick, she seemed to have lost the will to live. "You need to feed her on schedule, give her medicine, and talk to her," the maid instructed, before leaving. The first few days were torture. Lisa remained silent, turning her face to the wall. Sometimes she looked at me as if I didn't exist. I had no idea what to do. "You're not from a rich family, are you?" she suddenly asked on the 3rd day. "No," I admitted honestly. "Then why did you take this job?" I have nowhere else to go." She gave a quiet, bitter laugh. "Neither do I. Except I can't even leave this house." That night, something invisible connected us. I told her about my life, about my husband, about how we had dreamed of opening a small bakery before he died in a construction accident. Lisa listened silently, sometimes asking questions. A week later, she asked me to brush her hair for the first time. To me, that was a sign. She was beginning to trust me. But the more I learned about her life, the heavier my heart grew. Lisa confessed that her father practically kept her locked up. "He says I'm too weak to go outside," she whispered. "But really, he just doesn't want me to find out the truth." "What truth?" I asked. "The truth about what happened to my mother." Those words wouldn't leave my mind. What was her father hiding? 3 months into my work, I finally saw the master of the house. Tall, silver-haired, with a cold stare. "You're the new caregiver?" His voice sounded like a verdict. "Yes," I said, trying not to tremble. "Make sure she doesn't throw tantrums, medicine on schedule, no unnecessary conversations." I nodded, but inside I was boiling. How could anyone talk to their own daughter only about medicine? "Is he always like this?" I asked Lisa after he left. "Worse," she sighed. "But don't get angry with him in front of me. That's when he gets truly cruel." I began to notice strange things. Every evening when he returned, Lisa went quiet, shrinking into herself. At night, I could hear her quietly crying. One day, I entered her room without knocking and saw her sitting on the floor with a letter in her hands. "What's that?" I asked. She quickly hid the paper behind her back. "Nothing, just an old letter." But I saw her hands trembling. "Lisa, you can trust me," I said softly.
She looked at me for a long time and whispered, "If he finds out I'm reading these letters, he'll kill me." I didn't know what to say, but I understood one thing. I had to help this girl.
I couldn't sleep all night. Lisa's words kept echoing in my head. He'll kill me. What were those letters? Why was she so afraid? The next morning, I decided to act carefully. I pretended everything was normal, fed Lisa breakfast, gave her medicine, waited until she fell asleep. Then I quietly searched the room. The letter was under her pillow. My hands trembled as I unfolded it. "My dear Lisa, I know your father forbade us to communicate, but you must know, I am alive. I moved far away, but I will come back for you as soon as I can. Please don't believe him. He is lying. Your mother." I froze. Her mother was alive, but her father said she was dead. "You're reading it," came a weak voice behind me. I turned. Lisa was sitting up, leaning on her pillows. "I'm sorry," I cried. I didn't mean to." "It's okay," she whispered. "Now you know." I sat down next to her. "Lisa, why does your father say she's gone?" She gave a bitter laugh. "Because it's easier for him. He thinks I'm too weak to look for her." "Do you want to find her?" I asked. She nodded. "More than anything." From that day on, we started secretly writing letters to her mother. I would take them to the post office, hiding them under my clothes. My heart pounded every time I heard her father's footsteps. One evening, he came home earlier than usual. "Why were you outside so long?" he asked, piercing me with his stare. I went to get medicine." I lied. He narrowed his eyes but said nothing. I only exhaled when he left. "You're risking everything," Lisa said quietly. "I know, but there is no other way." Each letter from her mother felt like a ray of light. She wrote about her new life in a small town, how she had found work at a pharmacy and was saving money to come back for Lisa. And then the letters stopped. A week passed, then 2. Silence. Lisa grew paler by the day. She stopped eating, stopped looking at the window. "She abandoned me," she whispered to the ceiling, "just like before." "Don't say that," I almost shouted. "Something must have happened. She'll come back." I decided to go to that town myself. "Are you crazy?" Lisa gasped. "My father will find out." "Let him," I said, "but I have to find her." I waited until he left on a business trip and took the money I had been saving for new shoes. The road was long and exhausting. By the time I arrived, my legs ached, but I still went straight to the pharmacy. "Excuse me, did a woman named Irene work here?" I asked the pharmacist. "Yes," she said, "but she left a week ago." "Where?" My heart sank. "No one knows. She just said she had to leave urgently." I came back empty-handed. "You didn't find her, did you?" Lisa asked quietly when I returned. I shook my head. "But I won't give up." The next day, her father returned. He was furious. "Where were you?" His voice was icy. "On personal business," I replied, trying not to tremble. "You're paid to be here, not to wander off." I clenched my fists. "If you ever spoke to your daughter like a human being, you wouldn't need to hire caregivers." He spun around. "Get out. Tomorrow." I froze. "If you leave," Lisa whispered, "I will die." Her words hit me like a punch. I couldn't abandon her. "I'm not going anywhere," I said firmly. Her father turned pale, but said nothing. After that, he barely spoke to me, but I knew he was watching. One night, I woke up to a noise. The light in the hallway was on. I stepped outside and saw him holding a letter in his hands. "What's this?" he asked, turning to me. I realized he had found the correspondence. "Give it back," I shouted. "You were secretly writing letters?" His voice shook. "Do you know what this could lead to?"
Lisa ran into the hallway. "Dad, give it back," she cried. "She's lying to you," he roared. "Your mother isn't coming back." "You're lying," Lisa screamed, and then collapsed to the floor. "Lisa!" I rushed to her. Her father stood frozen as if he couldn't believe what had happened. "Call a doctor," I shouted, but he just stood there. I grabbed the phone myself. An hour later, Lisa lay under an IV drip. The doctor warned that stress could kill her. "If you want to save her," he told her father sternly, "don't let this happen again." That night, I sat by Lisa's bed, holding her hand. "I won't let him take away your hope, I promise." Lisa recovered slowly. She barely spoke to her father, and a cold silence hung between them.
Every time he entered the room, she turned to face the wall. "You need to talk to him," I said softly one evening. "Never," she said firmly. "After what he did, I'm no longer his daughter." I understood her, but I knew it couldn't go on like this. 3 nights later, Lisa suddenly said, "I want to leave." "Leave? Where to?" I asked. "To find my mother, even if I have to search the whole country." I froze. "You know he'll never let us go, right?" She nodded. "Then we'll have to run." My heart pounded. I never thought she would dare. "All right," I said. "We'll do it together." We started preparing. I hid the money I had been saving for clothes and food, gathered her documents. "Are you sure?" I asked her the night before. "Yes," she said firmly. "If I stay here, I'll die." At dawn, we quietly slipped out of the house. I held Lisa by the arm. She was still weak, but able to walk. We were almost at the gate when a voice rang out. "Where do you think you're going?" I turned. Her father was standing on the porch. "Dad," Lisa whispered. "Go back inside," he ordered coldly. "No," she said. "I'm leaving." "You don't understand what you're doing," he said, stepping closer. "This woman is manipulating you. She saved my life, and you tried to ruin it." He took another step. I knew then he wouldn't let us go. "Run!" I shouted, and we bolted toward the gate. My heart was pounding so loudly, I could barely hear my own steps. We ran out onto the street and flagged down the first car we saw. "To the station," I told the driver. I didn't let go of Lisa's hand the whole ride. "He'll find us," she said, staring out the window. "He won't," I tried to reassure her, though I wasn't sure myself. We bought tickets for the night train and sat on a bench, trying to stay unnoticed. "Do you think my mom is really waiting for me?" Lisa asked quietly. "Of course," I said. "She's still fighting. Something must have stopped her." When the train started moving, I felt a strange relief. We were far from that house, but the relief didn't last. At the next station, 2 security guards boarded the train. "We're looking for a young woman about 20 and a middle-aged woman," one of them said, holding up a photo. My stomach sank. It was us. "What do we do?" Lisa whispered. "Pretend to be asleep." They passed us by, but soon came back. "Your papers," they demanded. I handed mine over. One of them frowned. "You'll get off at the next station." "We won't," I shouted. Other passengers turned to look. "We have no choice," Lisa whispered. "If we resist, they'll call the police." We got off at a small rural station. "What now?" she asked. "We walk," I said. We trudged down the dark road. Lisa stumbled, and I kept pulling her back to her feet. "I can't go on," she cried. "Yes, you can," I told her. "For your mother." Suddenly, we heard an engine behind us. "It's him," Lisa whispered. We dove into the bushes. Headlights swept the road. The car slowed. "Lisa," her father's voice echoed. "Come back before it's too late." I squeezed her hand. "Don't move," I whispered. The car waited for a moment, then drove away. "We can't hide forever," Lisa said after the sound faded. "Then we find someone who will help us," I replied.
We reached a small village and knocked on the first door we saw. An elderly woman opened. "Please help us," I said. "We're running from someone who wants to take us back." She looked at us for a long time, then let us in. "Stay here for the night," she said. "In the morning, I'll take you to a doctor I know." Lisa fell asleep almost instantly. I sat by the window, wondering what would come next. I knew her father wouldn't stop. Morning was quiet, almost deceptively so. Lisa sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the window. "He's not going to stop, is he?" she asked softly. "No," I admitted, "but we won't give him our freedom." The elderly woman who sheltered us made oatmeal and gave us a little money for the road. "Be careful," she said as she saw us off. "He's searching the entire area for you." We kept walking. I wanted to reach the nearest town as soon as possible so we could buy a ticket and go far away. But soon I noticed something strange. Men in matching jackets standing in alleyways, as if waiting. "We need another route," I told Lisa, pulling her hand. "You think they're his men?" she asked. "I'm sure." We turned off the road, crossed through an overgrown garden, and reached the outskirts. But then footsteps sounded behind us. "Run!" I shouted. We sprinted down a narrow path, nearly falling. My chest ached, my breath ragged. "This way," I yelled, spotting a half-collapsed barn. We hid inside. Outside, voices shouted, "They were just here. Search everywhere. The boss wants them back at any cost." I pressed a finger to my lips. Lisa nodded, holding her breath. Footsteps drew closer. I could feel Lisa trembling next to me. "If they find us," she whispered. "They won't," I said, though I wasn't sure. Minutes felt like hours. At last, the voices faded. "We have to leave. They'll come back." We slipped out and kept moving across the fields. "Look," Lisa said suddenly. A bus appeared on the horizon. We climbed aboard just in time. "Where to?" the driver said. "Anywhere far from here," I said. The bus rolled away. I finally exhaled. "We made it," Lisa whispered. But relief came too soon. At the next stop, 2 men in the same jackets boarded. "No," Lisa whispered. They walked down the aisle, scanning faces. "Get off," I whispered, grabbing Lisa's hand. We jumped off while the bus was still moving. I hit the ground hard, scraping my knees, but quickly got up. "Run!" I shouted. Shouts erupted behind us. We didn't stop until we reached the forest. There we collapsed, gasping for air. "I can't anymore," Lisa sobbed. "Let him take me, I'm tired." I grabbed her shoulders. "Don't you dare say that. You've come too far to give up now." She stared at me with wide, frightened eyes. "All right," she whispered. "Just don't leave me." "Never," I said. We spent the night in the forest, shivering from the cold. At dawn, we heard the sound of cars. "They're here again," I whispered. We pushed through the undergrowth until we found an old, abandoned cabin. That became our hiding place. "He'll find us eventually," Lisa said, hugging her knees. "Then we have to find your mother first," I told her. "It's the only way to stop him." I took the last letter from my bag. There was a return address, the town where her mother last wrote from. "We're going there," I said. "This is our chance." But we needed money. I decided to contact someone from my past, a man I had once helped. We met on the edge of town. "You're in deep trouble," he said after I told him everything. "He's got people everywhere." "I know. Please help us." He gave us some cash and explained a back road that avoided the main highway. "Be careful," he warned. "This man is powerful. If he catches you, it's over." We walked all night. Lisa could barely stay on her feet. "Just a little more," I encouraged her. At dawn, we reached a train station. "That's the last train today," the attendant said. We climbed aboard just before it left. Lisa leaned against me and fell asleep. I stared out the window, my thoughts racing. If he caught us now, everything would be lost. And then I saw it, a black SUV racing alongside the train. "No," I whispered. It was him. I knew. The final confrontation was coming. The SUV sped alongside the train, its headlights cutting through the night. Cold fear gripped my stomach. It was him. I shook Lisa awake. "He's here." Her face went pale. "What do we do?" "Hold on to me. No matter what happens, don't let go of my hand." The train was slowing as it approached the next station. I knew he'd be waiting for us there. "We have to jump before it stops," I said. We leapt off the moving train, landing hard. Pain shot through my knees, but I got up and pulled Lisa to her feet. "Run!" We ran along the tracks, the sound of an engine roaring behind us. "Stop!" he shouted. We darted into the forest. Branches whipped at our faces. My lungs burned, my heart thudded. "I can't," Lisa cried. "Yes, you can. For yourself, for your mother." Suddenly, light appeared through the trees. We stumbled into a small clearing and saw a cottage. A woman stood on the porch. Lisa froze. "Mom?" The woman turned. Her face was tired, but so familiar. "Lisa," she whispered. They ran into each other's arms. I stepped back, tears streaming down my face.
"I was so afraid I'd never find you," Lisa sobbed. "I'm sorry, baby," her mother said. "I couldn't come back. He would have taken you away again." And then footsteps crunched behind us. He emerged from the shadows. "So, you found her after all," he said hoarsely. "Stay away from us," Lisa's mother cried. "You won't take her again." "She's my daughter," he growled. "She's not your property," I shouted, meeting his eyes for the first time. "You wanted to protect her but turned her into a prisoner." He stepped closer, but Lisa raised her hand. "Stop, Dad," she screamed. "You've made every choice for me my whole life, but this time I choose who I stay with." He froze as if struck. I just didn't want to lose you again," he said, his voice breaking. "You already lost us," Lisa said quietly. He lowered his head. "If you walk away now," I told him, "maybe one day she'll forgive you." He stood there for a moment, then turned and disappeared into the trees. The tension in my chest finally eased. Lisa hugged her mother, then came to me. "If it weren't for you, I never have had the courage," she said. I smiled. "You were stronger than you thought." We stayed in the cottage for a few days. Lisa began to heal, laughing, talking with her mother, as if reclaiming all the lost years. Before leaving, I packed my bag. "Where are you going?" Lisa asked. "My job here is done," I said with a smile. "You're safe now." She hugged me so tightly I almost cried. "You became more than just a caregiver. You became family." I boarded the bus. As the cottage disappeared behind the trees, tears rolled down my cheeks. Yes, I had lost everything I once had, but gained something far greater, the certainty that even in the darkest place, light can be found. Final message to the reader. Have you ever faced a moment when someone tried to decide how you should live? What would you have done in Lisa's place? Forgiven her father or left forever? Share your thoughts, I would love to know. And if this story touched you to tears, subscribe. There are many more to come.